Hi there, my name is Natalie and I'm currently studying a Bachelor of Sound Engineering at SAE, and I'm here today with Heli Puhaka. Is that how you say your last name?
That's good.
Cool. The head of animation and design here at SAE.
Hi, thank you for inviting me, Natalie.
All good. Heli has a background in music and is currently the vocalist and guitarist of the punk rock band The Glycerines. I have brought Heli in today to discuss what it's like being a female in a male-dominated industry. Based on the 4th annual report by USC's Annenberg Inclusion Initiative, women comprise a total of 21.6% of all artists, 12.6% of all songwriters, and 2.6% of all producers. These are pretty staggering low numbers, and being a female making my way into the music industry, I'm looking to uncover why women are still such a minority, and hope to also encourage women to take on their passion of music and dive into a career in the music industry. So, Heli, tell me what made you decide to be a musician?
I guess I'm a bit of a grunge kid, so I'm from that era where, I don't know, I just remember hearing bands like Hole and L7 and Babes in Toyland, and I just was inspired by their music, and I thought, I really want to play music, and I had 3 friends at the time, all female. It wasn't planned, it was just that we all liked that sort of music, and then we started a band, and it was called Gravel Rash. And our motto was, our slogan was, Gravel Rash in your ear hole. So when you listen to us, it was like, kind of painful, but then enjoyable a bit later, once you survive the experience. And that's how I got into music, just the grunge element.
Yeah, cool, I think I definitely, more so like classic rock, but like Nirvana, I absolutely love. Obviously got like the Nirvana
fantastic
tattoo, but
you were inspired by the Nirvana.
I mean like
that whole Seattle. Sub pop.
Definitely grunge. I never really got into like a bit of old school punk, like Ramones and stuff.
Yes.
But like I was, but punk gigs, they're my favorite. Why do you think there aren't many females in the industry?
It's funny because it sort of comes and goes in cycles. So because with playing with the Glycerines at the moment, I've noticed that there's a lot more female bands around. Than what there were, say, like a decade ago. And, bands, I don't know if you've heard of Blush and Whalehouse and Being Jane Lane, so they're all girls, all female. And I'm sort of noticing a bit of a resurgence, so in a way, more females are playing music, and they're playing that sort of grunge punk style. But I do know what you mean. There'll be times where there's not that many women playing music, so I don't know whether they're just, maybe they're rehearsing and they're starting bands, but maybe they're not putting themselves out there in the public.
Well, like from what I researched, there was I basically researched why, and it kind of came up that on my side, like on sound engineers and producers and stuff, it's all male, and it's all it's very being in the studio, it's a very confronting environment, I suppose. And it's just very I know I went my first day at SAE, there was me and one other chick, and that was it. There was the rest are all boys, so it's I guess there's more of a, and there's still sexist attitudes obviously in the industry. So I think that's why, is because just so many men in studios, and even in live sound, it's all, it's very rare to see a girl sound engineer.
Back in the day, there was one female audio live engineer person, and we had her for all our gigs. And then when we played in Sydney, Melbourne, there was one in Melbourne that we would just use her all the time, because she was pretty much the only female in that industry. And in Brisbane, at that sort of grunge era, there was only one female sound engineer.
And I think as well also, growing up, women, girls aren't encouraged to, play around with technology, we're not, I know my dad was always very, I did the girly things, my brother he was always really scared to ride his motorbike, but I loved it, but he'd never buy me one because he was just you're a girl. I was just I'm on the bike more than him.
It is a funny thing. I remember my mum saying to me as a teenager when I was starting to play guitar, girls don't play guitar. I said, what the heck? yeah, they do. We rock. And she couldn't handle it. It was just like, that's not feminine and this and that. And I remember we played, they don't have them now, but they used to have 4ZZZ market days.
Oh, yeah.
And there'd just be thousands of people at these market days, 30 bands. And I invited my mum to come to that. And she was, was quite sort of shocked at the same time, but at the same time she said, oh, wow, that was good, I liked it. But it was, hardcore grunge, screaming, and she's quite conservative, so for her to say that was good, she was probably just saying it just to make me feel better. I don't know. But yeah, having her say girls don't play guitars was, no way,
even my landlord the other day, he just, I wasn't even expecting him to come, he just got up to the door, he's like, do you have a fire blanket in your house? I was like, no, I don't. Actually, and he's like, oh, I'll go buy you one, and he comes back and he's like, oh, do you have like a boyfriend or something that can screw it into the wall? I was like, I can screw a fire blanket, like,
I'm sure I can do it.
Yeah, I was like, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, because at the time when I was playing in Gravel Rash, there were no other girls playing music in that genre of music. There wasn't. And I remember one time we played at King George Square. Actually, they put up a stage. It was a Friday night. Loads of people just, randomly coming through, and it was a free show for Youth Week. And there was a guy who organised the event, and he looked like maybe in his 40s, 50s, whatever. And so we were all ready to play, and he said, oh, you can go around the back and get changed if you want to. And we said, no, we're ready. And we had, like a t-shirt and ripped jeans, and we all had different coloured Converse and pink and purple hair and pretty out there. And we looked at him and said, no, we're already dressed. And he said, oh, what? Oh, but I thought you were going to wear like really short mini skirts and stilettos, and you could go put some makeup on and do your hair. And we just said, no, this is it. And he just kind of walked away thinking, oh, that's a bit weird.
Yeah.
And, the four of us, we, looked pretty grungy.
Yeah, that's
and
the
we said,
genre.
this is what we wear even, during the day. And that was a real shock to me, that I thought that stereotyping women that, but he said, but where is your short mini skirt and stilettos? And I'm thinking, that's just odd. I don't even own stilettos, And it was just a really sort of strange sexist comment to make.
Yeah. Well, that kind of answers my next question, actually. I was going to ask you if you've, you or anyone else have experienced any sexist remarks. So there's any other times you can think of where...
Well, I can, there was quite a few times. So something that was happening in Brisbane at that time was, I call them boy bands.
Yeah.
So, only boys. They would say, no way, we're not playing before those girls. So on a lineup, we always had to play first. Even though we'd released an album and singles, we'd played interstate, and we'd even supported international acts like Hole, Courtney Love and Hole. We played with them.
Really? Wow.
Even then, boy bands in Brisbane refused to play before us. And it was just ridiculous. And it was, as a woman, you had to fight to be able to play later in the lineup, which is ridiculous.
Wow.
Even after 4 or 5 years of playing live, we still had to play first.
Wow.
So I know times have changed, thank goodness. But back then, because we were the only female band in that genre, it was, oh no, the girls can go first.
Wow.
And of course, not many people are going to be there, at 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
the doors open. And
Yeah.
that was really frustrating.
So were you like, when they do the lineup, were you originally going to play later and they pushed you back?
Sometimes that would happen as well.
Oh, that's...
Boy bands would say, no, we refuse to play before the girls.
And when was this?
This would have been, in the 90s.
Wow.
Late 90s. And I remember one time we played outside of Melbourne, there's Geelong.
Yeah.
At the Barwon Club. We played there there was a band called Warped. I think they're still around, actually. And I can't remember a few other bands. And they had a big sign on the side of the building, and it had Warped and Velvet Hammer, I think, was the other band, and then it had very cool all-girl band, Gravel Rash. And remember, we all had our photo taken in front of it, and we got some markers and crossed out. Oh no, it said all-girl band, Gravel Rash, and we crossed out all-girl, a permanent marker, and we put very cool, and we took a photo of that. So I'll have to show you that sometime.
I love that.
But we just kind of thought, again, it was just playing on that, we're a novelty act. And
Yeah.
it wasn't about that at all. It was just we like this sort of music and we like playing it.
Mm.
But you sort of put into that category of hopping on the bandwagon of
Yeah.
grunge and sub pop and whatever that was at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you did mention that the industry is obviously a lot better now, but do you think we're still going in the right direction? And what do you think needs to change?
It's, again, I feel that as women we're outnumbered
Mm.
in a lot of industries,
Yeah.
but in particular audio, and even now playing gigs with Glycerines, it's pretty rare to play with another band that has a female in the band.
Yeah,
And
right.
whenever we do, I just think, yay, and I'll
Yeah.
go and meet that person
Mm.
and talk to them. But most of the time,